Hello, this is the Chelsea Football FanCast. I'm Stamford Chidge, and we are back. And when you go to the wide shot, you can reveal there's Sophie Rose. There we go. Sophie Rose, the lovely Sophie Rose, the fantastic Charlie Skillen, and the multi-talented Jonathan Kydd.
What are you going to say? The multi-millionaire?
Well, he is too, as well, actually.
Yeah.
Did you not know that?
Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah.
He's like the Howard Hughes of football programmes.
I am, but I dress scruffily because I don't want to.
Well, that's why I meant
be
you're the Howard Hughes of
too
football programmes.
ostentatious.
Right, now, I'm glad you're talking because I wanted to pick up just very briefly what we were talking about a minute ago. We were saying that this is a pretty damn good side, okay, at the moment. We're also saying that it's close to perfection. Well, I'm a perfectionist, so I agree with Jonathan that you don't get it. But I also said that Ancelotti's side played some pretty damn good football. I would also say that in a completely different style, and I think this is what we're talking about, Mourinho's first side played some great football, but totally. People forget that. They just think they were monsters. But we had Robin and Duff, for goodness sake. Yeah, I mean, I saw that team absolutely completely destroy Barcelona inside half an hour. Yeah? But the question I really want to ask, particularly with Jonathan here, because he's a little bit older than me.
Yeah, very much older than me.
But there were great sides before
so
that.
young
I thought Gullit's side played some superb football, kind of late 90s, with Zola at his peak.
Yes.
I think you know, John oh God, I've had a complete blank. Johnny Neal's Blue and White Army, that 83, 84 season. Okay, admittedly in the second division, but they played some superb football, and then they did when they went back up. And then there's the 70s side.
They finished fifth, so they can't have been that wonderful.
No, exactly.
But they didn't win the title.
But they played some beautiful football because
no,
John Neal's style was up and out and fast, wingers.
With wingers, absolutely.
Wingers and Big Kerry and David Speedy off him. I mean, it was very attack-minded and very beautiful to watch. And then there was the 70s side, for goodness sake, with Ozzy and Alan Hudson. For goodness sake, Charlie Kirk.
Not as athletic, of course.
But very skillful.
But the game wasn't.
Yeah, the game's changed completely.
So, giving it a broader canvas, Jonathan, what say you to that?
I think it's very difficult to compare eras.
You can't, can you?
No,
you
it's
can't.
Practically impossible. But but all those teams had their stars and their great styles and their abilities, and they were great to watch. But the other problem I've got is remembering. Remembering specifically.
Why do you think I write notes? I can't remember what I saw last Saturday,
And all you can say, you can individually, funny enough, I can actually remember certain players are a complete standout. You say, brilliant. But actually applying it to the team, there are certain games that stand out as well as being brilliant performances. But I'm, at the moment, I don't know, my overall memory of the team is that the football being played now is the best I have ever seen. Yeah, you know what?
It's interesting.
Yeah, go on.
I mean, Bouty also a greater experience in watching, but
also
he doesn't remember it.
The main thing, also the speed of the game is 40%.
Yeah,
it's a very different game.
It's very different, and also you can't tackle from behind.
You've got to think players of the quality of Zola and Charlie Cook and Pat Nevin, whoever, would have adapted anyway.
Yeah.
So, but I mean, I still think Mourinho's first side had just this unbelievable, especially in that first season. I mean, I think with the Duff and Robin stuff.
Let's just not confuse this for a second, because I think I think there's a difference between the best side and the most attractive to watch. I definitely think that the first Mourinho side was the best Chelsea side.
But they also were attractive to watch.
But this is the best football I've seen us play. I'm kind of siding with you and
nobody is saying that we're defensive, which is what the complaint was about Mourinho's first.
That complaint would be wrong.
That was completely wrong. That was wrong as well, because as you say, Duff and Robin, there was nothing defensive about that team.
I think that second season, when we had a couple of injuries and got Etienne in, that was a bit more...
But he was always very good, Mourinho, at playing according to the team that he's got around him. That's always been the case. He's done that with every team. The Inter Milan side were just foul.
Yeah, they really were. Yeah.
But you see what he did there. He did what he does so well. He
adapted accordingly.
Yeah, he saw what he had. He saw the raw materials. He said, right, okay, if I want to win stuff, because I always win stuff, because I'm Mourinho, this is what we're going to do.
I'm going to play crabby, cheating football.
Very quickly, Sophie, is this the... I mean, I'm beginning to think. I mean, here's the thing, right? I think the game against West Ham, I think the game against West Brom, and I think this game are probably some of the best football I've seen Chelsea play. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would. But I think, for me, it's quite hard to tell which was the better team, this one or when Jose Mourinho was last in charge, because the football in both leagues is so different now. Well, I was quite young, but I do remember, I do remember when Jose Mourinho was back, because I remember when he left and I was really upset.
Oh.
So, yeah, so...
I was there the night he got sacked.
Yeah, awful.
I saw him.
But don't you think that's
film,
isn't that brilliant, though?
Were you there?
What other team has had a manager sacked and then brought him back? And it's not like he was sat. They had a disagreement. Didn't
You
they?
can have retreads. Sometimes they work, you know.
But I thought that was great.
Didn't work for Howard Kendall.
No.
But no, don't you think there's just two different leagues?
Yeah,
now?
no,
Like,
I do.
football, the football now is completely different to how it was back then. Like you can't. I mean, the only way you'd be able to tell is if you put the old side up against.
All right.
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
very quickly, just to I mean, we touched on this earlier, actually. Do you know what? I'm not going to talk about Swansea because I don't want to. What I am going to talk about is this. One of the things that really amused me, as you will see later, because it's been nominated for a celery moment.
Oh, yeah.
But I thought Jose was particularly grumpy for most of the match. There's his side playing this beautiful football. That
Didn't celebrate today.
We're all going potty about, and he's in their ear, all going, moaning, give me more, give me more. I mean, you know, he did spend most of the match moaning at the players. I mean, what is his problem?
Do you know what I
Soph?
thought that
You're
was?
grumpy tonight. You could probably identify a bit with
Do you know what?
Jose.
No, I think that's his frustration coming out a few weeks later to when we were only top of the league by alphabetical order. And I think he's just starting to feel, you know, sometimes after it takes you a while, like you to grieve a little bit. You're a bit mellow, and then all of a sudden.
Didn't expect that answer.
No,
You
me
know,
neither.
and then you just that's the only thing I can think of. And I think he just wanted to drill into his players' heads that 1-0 isn't good enough. Whatever happens if it comes to the end of the season, our goal difference is not there.
Charlie.
I mean, Mourinho.
Je suis Charlie.
Yeah, well.
Or you actually no.
Il est
Vuzet Charlie.
Il est Charlie.
Il est Charlie?
Oui.
No, why not Vuzet?
How about c'est Charlie?
Vuzet's more polite,
Je m'appelle
isn't
Charlet.
it?
Yeah. If you said,
Hang on, nous sommes Charlie.
thank you.
Yeah.
Really
Anyway.
good, yeah.
Bit of French. Didn't expect that lot, did you? No.
Bonnet de douche.
Bonnet de douche. Absolutely.
Mourinho has always been great at
Kind
kind
of
of
shower.
shower cap. Del Boys say. Mourinho has always been great at kind of adapting his personality and his demeanour for what he wants out of that team. You're right, he was grumpy. He was trying to but look what performance he got out of them.
Yeah.
You know, we'll often if we lose, he'll sort of say, "Oh, we were brilliant and we didn't deserve to lose, and it was a load of rubbish."
But what is interesting, actually, I think that's a really interesting point, Charlie, because I mean, he gave it the big. You know, I'm not happy with any of you. You're not actually playing how I want you to play. You're not giving me what I want you to give. Oh no, that's really odd.
Jesus.
Go away! I got phoned up on air. This is terrible.
Take it. That'll be fun.
No,
Yeah, do it.
Yeah, do it.
No,
Say,
I'm
"Hey,
not gonna do it.
there."
I'm not going to do it.
Can I just say, chipping in here? I think I think they agreed that they would play a certain way, and I think that's why they were at them from the beginning.
Yeah.
And I think he wanted to see that through, and I think he was annoyed. That's why he kept saying more, because they'd agreed they would be at a certain tempo and they would maintain that.
Yeah.
But it's true.
And he
why
wanted to keep
should
that going.
Why should he accept that his players think, "Okay, we've scored 2 goals now. Let's just play."
Well, because in the past he would have done. He's been known to do that.
Yeah.
No, but that misnomer that was associated with him of constantly being 2-0 and then he just wrap it up. He's capable of doing whatever he wants. He just tells the team to do. But also the second half they were doing what you said that before, the time of they resting whilst
Well,
playing.
no, but here's the thing. I don't have a problem with that. I mean, I actually think that's good game management.
Totally.
Yeah.
You know, the game was more than one.
And he took Costa off in order for
He's got
Tuesday.
Liverpool coming up
tomorrow. That's
tomorrow,
right.
you know.
Costa was annoyed. I like
Yeah,
that.
he was. Yeah,
I
of
like
course.
that.
Costa's
It's
great.
It's good game management. The point I was going to make, to pick up before I got rudely phoned up, I should give the number out on air, and that'd serve you right. Get loads of people giving you crank.
Do you know who it was?
No, it's just a mobile
fan.
number. Anyway, the point I was going to make was that he was grumpy with them for the whole match from the touchline, but when he went in, he said that was the perfect performance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's interesting, isn't it? That's this classic Jose Mourinho psychology. He's given it to them all game, sticking the needle in, but the minute and the public viewers, I think they were brilliant. Yeah. So they must have come in thinking, well, we won 5-0, but actually, God blimey, look at the boss. He looks really, really peed off. And then they hear him do that, and they go, oh, great, he's really happy with us. And just brilliant management. The other thing that I'm really happy with, actually, 2 things really. One, I think it's really good to see him that demanding. You know, I want that.
Totally.
Secondly, again, classic Jose Mourinho psychology at work here. City were playing Arsenal the next day. We were only 2 points ahead of them, weren't we, before kick-off? And I think he wanted to smash Swansea and play some really fantastic football in the process to set and lay down a marker. Now, interestingly enough, because I was listening to the Arsenal game yesterday, and a lot of the commentators and co-commentators were saying, you know, I wonder if that heaped a lot of pressure on City, the fact that Swansea were beaten by Chelsea 5-0, and I think they were right.
But I'm quite worried.
What about?
For some reason, I think, we did play
There
well.
is no need to be upset.
I know there's no need to be upset and be happy, but I do think that City are going to think, because even after the game, there was the Arsenal Man City game, the pundits were saying they have to go to Chelsea and win now, and they will go in with that mentality as well as.
Yeah, but that will leave them open at the back. We can counter-attack them. Bosh. We don't need to win the match anymore.
No, I know we don't.
Perfect.
I know we don't, and it is good. But if we do win the match, we're 8 points clear, and that is basically
game over.
And it is, and it's great.
Not with 45 points to go.
No,
I don't know. I think
what's your point,
if Chelsea stay in that form they're in, they're not going to...
Pellegrino's stupid.
Do you know, Pellegrini could have taken a leaf out of Jose Mourinho's book at the weekend.
Because if he was a decent manager.
No, if he was on the stands giving them some sort of oomph and telling them what to do, maybe he would have, but he just sits there.
As far as I'm concerned, Pellegrino is the illegitimate, it's very hard to work that out, think on your feet, is the illegitimate son of the Grim Reaper from the Bill and Ted films and the Emperor, the Dark Emperor from the Star Wars films. There you go.
I'll pitch it as an idea tomorrow.
With a touch of a badger thrown in.
Can you picture that? Yeah, I think that's a very good comparison.
It's good.
Can you tweet in or Mixler in and agree with Chidge on this? Because I think I've just nailed Pellegrino there. Oh, very good, Charlie. Charlie's just said, does that mean that has Pellegrino turned Frank to the dark side?
Ooh.
Yes.
Did Frank Lampard come on? Because I fell asleep on it.
Yeah, and he was the one that played whoever scored the second goal onside.
Yeah. Well, do you know, that's going to get him back for not sending him to New York.
Giroud scored.
Do you know, it was the weirdest thing on Sunday. I got all hyped up and I said, look, I really think Arsenal
What were you doing on Sunday then? Where'd you watch it?
I was in bed.
You in bed?
I went and got a massive Nando's and then
Is that
I came back.
euphemism for something? I don't know.
I got a Nando's chicken. You can't say that.
Can't say that.
It's a chicken.
There was no subtlety in that whatsoever.
It's a chicken.
Okay, I got
Cock is a chicken.
I know it is, but it's not the point.
I got a large size Nando's. And I went to go to sleep. Well, I went to eat it, and then I ate it, and then I fell asleep, and I woke up, and it was 2-0.
Don't follow that up with what is the obvious follow-up to that.
It was a great day.
Thank you. I'm so
No,
glad. Can we get back to normality now, please?
Yes,
I'm
let's
actually embarrassed
please.
for myself after that.
Every time I try and have a say, you two end up having a joke amongst yourself,
we're
and this
obviously
isn't
some kind of weird mood. Shall we go back to the football?
Yes. What I said is that I had a feeling Arsenal were going to win, but I originally thought it was Arsenal because I'm not really all with.
I thought Arsenal would win actually.
but I just had a feeling,
I did too. Because I've been saying this for weeks. In true Adrian Durham style. I don't think City are all that. I think that, they've got a team full of mercenaries. They're unbalanced. Their defence is shonky. I think Pellegrino is a poor manager, as he proved. He had one lucky season in La Liga, and that's it. He's not up to the mark. He's no Jose Mourinho. I am seriously not worried. And they've got naff results in them. I said this a few weeks ago. They will drop points because they've got it in them. And lo and behold, Burnley and now against Arsenal.
Burnley was poor.
Poor, very poor.
I'm quite critical of Man City, and this is the reason because, and I sort of agree with Gary Neville the other day when he was speaking.
Not Gary Monk.
On Sunday, no, Gary Neville. No, I've always thought Man City, they've got huge amounts of pace, power, they're absolutely dominant. However, a team that can play like that in the Premier League and then plays like they're a championship side in the Champions League aren't a good team, and that's the reason I don't.
And he's not a good manager tactically.
Until they succeed in the Champions League, which every team has to do. You need to be getting in the semi-finals and the finals.
I mean, perish the thought, and we are talking about City, which I really don't want to do, but it wouldn't surprise me if they won the Champions League this year. Because quite often a shonky team wins it.
Nah, no chance.
Like Liverpool in 2005. Dare I say it, us in 2012,
Man City put all their eggs in one basket. Yeah. They put it all into the Premier League. They don't really... Champions League.
You put all your Nando's in one basket?
I think
they're still in the Champions League, though.
Yeah.
They play Barcelona.
But let's see what happens.
I think Toure missing for them is massive, and we should all be praying that Ivory Coast get through their group. Because if they get through their group in the African Cup of Nations, he'll be missing with the Chelsea game.
Well, won't Bonnie be missing? Was he? Bonnie long Ivory Coast off, or what?
No, he's there.
Out there too, is he?
He's there, but
so signed somebody.
I think what Sophie's talking about, the power, it's so centric on Toure.
And it is. It's all about Toure. And company, who's a bit injury prone.
I think he's better rated.
Player. No, really? Okay.
He's on 4 yellow cards.
Look, we got about 3 or 4 minutes. Sorry, go on, Charlie.
If Toure doesn't play in the Chelsea game, I think it's very, very good news.
But you can't just rely on you can't just rely your team on a set amount of players. Do you know what I mean? With Chelsea, somebody asked me in an interview the other day, "What are you not worried if Diego Costa gets injured that you'll be finished?" I said, "Well, no, he's played when he's been injured, and not only that, we have Hazard, Matic. Like, we have players that are so different to last season that it's just...
And he also missed 4 games in October or whatever it was, and we were still winning on top of the league. So.
I like the way that he played catch-up this weekend, having, realised that he'd fallen down his kind of goal-a-game ratio, a bit of a dodgy spell, bit of an injury. He said, no, I'm playing catch-up now. He's almost caught up again.
I'll have a couple here.
When Costa gets the ball, what I love, and the only thing that I love, is that he knows he's going to score. He knows he's going to score.
He's a striker, mate. Proper
but he just knows that he's going to score, and that's just... I don't have any hesitation with him.
Right, last thing I want to talk about before we move away from this part. We've got 4 minutes, according to Chaz. Chaz on the decks in the gallery. My overall kind of thought about this game, which I absolutely loved hugely, but it just kind of made me think that, that's what a week on the training ground does. This is very rare for Chelsea that they get a week where they've only got 1 game, and the way that we played, it looked to me like Mourinho had spent the entire week ironing out all the kinks from, that isn't a euphemism by the way, but from the game against Newcastle, where, let's face it, we were a bit shocking in the first half, pretty good in the second, but not so good in the first. And I think in particular, it looks to me like he worked thoroughly on the pressing. We mentioned it earlier on, didn't we, in the show, about the 2 and 3 of them pressing and winning the ball back quickly. But also, very interestingly, the amount of shooting that we were doing. I mean, we've been moaning about it all year. I have anyway, saying you've got to shoot more. You can't just walk the ball in the net. And those are the 2 things that seem to have fundamentally changed. And that, to me, proves what a fantastic coach this guy is, Charlie.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, unfortunately, touch wood, in the Champions League or whatever, it doesn't look like we're going to get another whole week to ourselves again. But, I think you're right. We touched on it earlier with Oscar taking a few shots from long range. Willian
or Hazard.
Willian.
And they've been the worst defenders.
Yeah, exactly.
Hazard and Oscar don't shoot enough. No. Nor does Willian.
Yeah, and Willian can really hit them as well.
Yeah, he was very unlucky not to score, I think, actually.
He was.
Could have done with him scoring, to be fair.
It was really pleasing to see us be so ruthless, where we've really lacked that in these last 3 or 4 away games.
We've got to do that. We cannot keep trying to walk the ball in the net.
I mean, we have to do that against teams like... I mean, you may get away with it, one of the lesser teams, I don't know, but... Definitely against, Southampton, that was what we were missing. That was the only thing we were missing there. And we have to do that against City, we have to do that against Arsenal.
Got to do it tomorrow night.
Yeah, and we have to do it against Liverpool. Like, you just have to be...
I'd love to batter them 5-0. That would really cheer me up.
It's going to be a good game tomorrow.
We'll talk about Liverpool later on, but what do you think about this, the idea that Jose's kind of worked on the pressing and the shooting this week in training? Yeah, you up for that?
Well, that was
clear, wasn't it?
Absolutely clear from the opening of the game, yeah. Even, as I said, the first 30 seconds I remarked on it when I was watching. I thought, wow, they're really up for this.
It's what we like to see, isn't it?
Yeah, well, it's getting the first goal, as we've been saying, is so important.
I wasn't expecting it.
So.
On Saturday,
I didn't expect us to romp home 5-0. I said 2-1 on Friday.
But it's so easy normally to sit back. They sit back a lot and they let the game and they evolve and work out how they're going to do it. They've got the talent just to take teams apart.
And when they play like that, they were just... I mean, as I said, it genuinely reminded me of Germany against Brazil. Yeah. The last match I saw, that kind of really aggressive, fast-paced, brilliant passing, clinical shooting game was that Brazil-Germany game. Yeah. It's a shame it wasn't 7, actually. That would have been nice. And then Schürrle scored as well, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And he didn't do an assist, otherwise. He didn't assist for that. But anyway, no, I just thought it was absolutely brilliant. And I mean, should we be a bit are we being a bit churlish saying that they were profligate and they should have scored a few more?
I think so.
No, I don't think so.
Are we being churlish or not? We're not being churlish.
No, we're not being churlish, but at the same time, it wasn't perfect.
All right, fair enough. Right, now, I think we've done that to death. I have enjoyed that part thoroughly. It's not every week we get to talk about a 5-0 win for Chelsea, but there's only one way to round that off, and it's not... you might think it's with a chicken Nando with Sophie, but it's not. It's actually the Fannies, and we will be talking about who we're voting for coming up after the break.